Alright, hello there, fellow Star Wars / G.I. Joe action figure customizers. I decided to, and actually I've been meaning to for a while, start doing some videos about my custom action figures, which I counted a couple days ago and roughly have around 40 or 45 now, and I think maybe more than that, because I think there's some that I've gotten so used to looking at in my collection that I just don't even notice them anymore, because I just look at them and I don't even realize they're a custom. But what I wanted to do with these videos is I want to just kind of go through and document my work, because photographs only give you a two-dimensional look, but I think if you have a video, you can do the whole 360 thing, and I can actually talk about what parts that I use and what kind of paint that I use and so forth and so on. So I'm going to start with this one. This is one of my absolute favorite custom action figures. This is my custom Boba Fett figure that I made with all G.I. Joe parts except for the helmet. The helmet is from the Camino Escape Jango Fett, and also his rifle here is a Marauder's rifle. The actual type escapes me right now, but it's one of those. If you know anything about Marauders, there are packs that you can buy on there that are assorted pieces, and you can kind of build your own rifle based on that. And I have to thank my friend Vader 9900. He gave me this rifle to use, and I also want to thank him for the whole concept of this figure, because it was his idea first to make a custom Boba Fett. And if you go to my Flickr page and you know, you can see my Boba Fett on there. I also have his Boba Fett on there with my custom Jango Fett, and his is different than mine. Used a lot of different, some same parts, some different parts, but his is awesome too. Very, very cool Boba Fett. So anyhow, let's get into this. The main body that I used on this figure was a Rise of Cobra shipwreck body. The torso, the legs, and the arms down to this point here are all that shipwreck. From the right here, the gauntlet down, is a 25th anniversary tripwire gauntlets and hands, because the shipwreck doesn't have any gauntlets, and if it's Boba Fett, he definitely has to have gauntlets. The grenades here are from 25th anniversary Destro. The rocket firing missiles, or wrist rockets, are from Destro also, and I just basically cut those off and glued them on. If we take the helmet off, he does have a removable helmet. I don't know how easily it's going to come off because it's been on there for a while. What you see is a Camino Escape Jango Fett head, which I cut off and dremelled out to make him into a ball socket. Probably we'll tweak that a little bit just to make the edges a little bit smoother. It might need to go down a little bit, but I really like the head sculpt on that old figure, even though he's kind of an older figure. It's got some really cool scars and detailing on it, and I had a couple extra ones sitting around, so that's why I chose that one. And I really like the Camino Escape helmet because it's really big, and when you put it on a figure's head, you don't get the nose poking out like the newer Evolution style Boba Fett helmet, which is really soft. This one's a little bit harder. So there you go. The belt that I have here is from a Rise of Cobra Viper Commando, and the gun is also from it too, and I basically pulled it off. I had to shorten it a little bit because the waist on this figure is really a lot skinnier than the Viper Commando, so I just kind of cut a section off of it, sanded it, made a new peg hole, and put it on. The Wookiee pelts are from the Vintage Original Trilogy Collection Boba Fett. I cut him up to make another custom, and I saved the Wookiee pelts, so I glued those on. Moving to the backpack. The backpack comes with the General Hawk from Rise of Cobra, and I basically just kind of took that off and painted it in Empire Strikes Back style Boba Fett theme. So you get your mostly green, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, and I kind of just used some artistic license and interpreted that design onto this backpack. And then of course weathered and painted it up. I added 2 rockets. These are actually from Clone Wars rockets. The little minigun that comes with a lot of the Clone Wars figures has this little rocket, and I just cut those off and threw them in there because they were just kind of laying around, and I thought it would be good. And I gave him 2 because I thought, bigger backpack, maybe upgraded his weaponry on there. And then, last but not least, his cape is actually a piece of fabric from an old pair of camouflage clothes that I use, and I kind of picked that to go along with the G.I. Joe theme. He's a G.I. Joe, basically a G.I. Joe figure. Of course, he would probably be on Cobra's side, so I picked the camo, and he can use it to drape over him and camouflage him and do all of that, and weathered that and kind of just drilled a little hole and glued it in there. Looks pretty good. Well, now I want to talk about my paint job here. I left the pants unpainted except for the knee pads on purpose because I wanted it to still kind of look like a G.I. Joe figure. So the camo pants I thought were a good color. They kind of go along with the gray theme from Boba Fett, so I did that. I left those unpainted, and then I just painted gray on what you would think of as his bodysuit, and then your standard green, some yellow for the shoulder pads and knee pads. The wrist rockets were already painted. I did have to paint the gauntlets green. They weren't green, they were like a weird looking gray color. And then I did paint the chest emblem on there by hand, and also the bantha skull on the side, painted it by hand. So there you go. This is a lot of work into this figure, probably I would say about 3.5–4 hours worth of work on him, and I still kind of every once in a while look up at him and take him down and decide to tweak something on him. Definitely one of my all-time favorite customs. Every time I look at him, I enjoy looking at him. So he'll be staying in my collection for good. He's definitely not for sale. However, if you watch this video and you feel you need something like this, I can do commission work. Might take a while to get all the parts together. But if you're interested in a figure like this and you want me to make one for you, definitely send me a PM, and I'll look into finding the parts and making one for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the first of many. I have many custom figures that I can do, and until the next time, Yo Joe, and may the Force be with you. Bye-bye.